One baby, yeah me faggy. One baby, yeah me faggy. One baby, yeah me faggy. Yeah, alla da la da da go. If a bala baba go.
Hi guys, join me for the first interview for our new series for Rolling Stone Africa, Heart and Soul with Rama. So hi Flavour, thank you for sitting with me for my new series. It's called Heart and Soul with Rama for Rolling Stone Africa. So I would love it if you can talk to me a little bit about yourself. Where does your artist name come from, Flavour?
Flavour. I think it came from, you know, I was in a group, in a band back then when I was still coming up. We used to do, you know, in hotels, you have musicians that just entertain people, you know, at the bar. So each time they wanted to make introduction for the band members, so like they say on the piano, we have so person, on the keyboard, on the drums, and also when it got to my turn, I didn't have a name yet, you know, because I was not like an artist then. I was just like an instrumentalist for the band. So I was looking for a name until, you know, it was gonna become a problem for me. Because, you know, the first thing is what you want to be called.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult choosing that, you know, because at first you might not even know where you're going. You don't know if the name is going to fit so well with what you're, you know, who you want to be. So, but there's this guy that always come around, you know, he comes in with the girls, he's, you know, he's hyped, and, you know, and he was called Flavour Shelters. And I like the guy, I like his, you know, his tease and energy, yeah. So I was like, okay, I like this name, Flavour Shelters, but I'm not gonna take away the shelters. I just...
You couldn't take everything.
No, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, so that way, when it was time to make introduction for the band, the next time we played, they were asking on the drums, they turned to me, okay, what again? You know, I was like, Flavour.
And you stuck with this?
I was just, without even knowing it was gonna fit into my style, you know.
Okay. Chinedu Okoli is your real Nigerian name?
My real name, yes.
What does that mean?
Chinedu means God leads. You know, I think we have this in Africa. Our name is always attached with, you know, our roots, and yeah, Chinedu, God leads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so really deeply rooted.
Yeah, it's deep, yeah. Nice. I think my dad gave me the name.
Okay, so you were born and raised in Nigeria?
In Nigeria.
In Enugu State?
Yeah, the eastern part of Nigeria.
How was your childhood there? The highs and the lows?
I would say I come from a very poor background. I call it like my humble beginning. Because coming out from there is more like, it's not easy going through the difficulties and, you know, all what you have to face in the eastern part of Nigeria, because, you know, there was a war back in the day, and then it was just like a growing region, you know, so not as developed. You know, that was where everything started out musically for me, from the church, you know, so yeah, but it's because it's calm and a very chilled city where everybody's minding their business and, you know, just want to survive.
Yeah.
You know, so...
was it like a very small community?
Yeah, it's small, kind of, yeah, it's small, but it was like the East Central. You know, Enugu is the East Central, like, you know, when you come to the eastern part of Nigeria, that's the city, the central.
Okay.
You know, you have, I think, about 5-6 states. Yeah.
I definitely need to
yeah.
But how does this experience affect your life in general as an artist, as a person, growing up the way you did?
Yeah, it did. It's like I said, it's a very calm place. So that way, we were properly raised, you know, in terms of good values, you know. it's not loud, it's not too busy. Everybody is just like, it's more like, you know, we're all listening to our parents. We all want to do things like peacefully. We all want to just, you know, take it easy. Nobody is chasing it like, you know, hard like you have in Lagos. You know, so that way it helped shape, you know, my movements, my even entire career. Cause starting out from the church, it was like, you know, I always come there. They had this choir, and I was so little at that time. I was so small. I used to watch the choir. My sisters were already in the choir, you know, so I would follow them to rehearsals.
Is it like gospel?
Yeah, gospel. Yeah, gospel. So I follow them down. When I go there, I just sit and watch, see what they're doing, and I try to, you know, just do something, get involved. But I was so little, I couldn't sing. My voice too tiny, you know. So all I did was just stay somewhere, and then on the sides, and start, you know, acting like I'm conducting them, because I noticed the way the choir was built. There's the soprano, the alto, the tenor. I see that the soprano starts, and alto will join, tenor, and then all of them will come together.
Harmonizing.
Yeah, harmonizing. So now I was like, okay, soprano, alto, you know, and tenor. I'm like doing all the conducting and all. So at some point, the music director said, come, you don't do it over here, come and stay in the middle. So they got me a stool where I stood up. I stood there and, you know, was conducting the choir. So that was how my musical journey started. So it was, you know, that environment, that calm environment, you know.
How old were you?
I think at that time I was like 11 years old.
Wow, that's quite
yeah,
young
yeah.
To put you on the spot like that in the middle. That's great.
Yeah.
I guess when you learn from young, that's how you're able to progress,
sure,
you know, with roots and foundations.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, you have 4 kids of your own.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So seeing your own parents and the way they raised you, how do you use those skills now with your kids? How did it inspire you, let's say?
Well, like I said, coming out from a very, you know, from a very humble beginning, you want to impact, you know, that as well. Every teaching you've learned or you've had over the years to your kids, you know, not just impact. You also want to be that person that you don't need to do too much talking. They see, and then they follow. Because I feel it's more of that. If you do too much talking without, you know, showing, it's not, you know, they're gonna go with what they see. So that's what I try to do, be that person, you know, set that example. If I'm trying to let them know we have to wake up so time to pray, I'm already up. They already see from, you know, my activities, and, you know, they join.
Yeah, because kids mirror everything that you do, right?
Everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are they going to be like superstars like that?
I don't know. I don't know. It's too early to tell, but
do you see any traits?
Yeah, I think I do. But you know, with kids, you might see whatever, but they get to a stage, they want to do their stuff. So I don't want to hold anybody down. I don't want to force anybody into anything. I'm just going to set, you know, standards for them, and also let them understand that whatever you want to be in life, you have to work for it.
Right.
You know, that's the most important part of, you know, trying to become whatever. You have to work for it.
Okay. Sometimes they say that in Nigeria, everyone wants their daughters and sons to become doctors and lawyers. Is that true?
Yeah. Because my mom initially wanted me to be an engineer. You know, she wanted it so bad. She always tells me, like, I want you to, you know, go to school, you know, be an engineer, and then, you know. So, but for me, I love that, you know, I love the idea, but I think I always saw myself doing something different, you know, so it was just a matter of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you became a musician, so I guess it turned out.
Yeah, it turned
pretty
out
well
good.
for you.
Yeah.
Tell me about your connection to music. When and how did you like really fall in love into it, and when did you know that you were become you were going to become great?
From the get-go, yeah, I always knew there's just something about me. And then at some point I started having these dreams, like chilling with some big artists, like in a playground. I'll have this dream, I'll be in a playground with somebody like Akon, like, you know, doing the swings and all. So like it was just so weird for me, you know. Wyclef, watching him play guitar and learning. So it was just, these were dreams of mine at the time. So when I had those dreams, I was like, you know, it was almost like I'm getting closer to, you know, being that, or everything I see in the dreams, you know, manifesting. The very first time I was called up to do the conducting, you know, for the choir, when I stood up and I was, you know, trying to put them together, they were all laughing at me, but I was just so serious with it. And I just fell in love with it, and I was there early before anybody, you know, setting stuff for them even before they came.
Yeah, was it a paid job?
It was not paid.
You was just doing it with
passion. I was just doing it, just passion, yeah, because the first thing is the passion, yeah. You know, and then every other thing follows. So from that time, I always had that feeling that I was just gonna be something, but I never knew what it was gonna be. You know, I just knew that I just needed to, you know, keep working hard, yeah, and try as much as possible to gain enough skills and acquisition to, you know, to push through.
That's great.
Yeah.
As well as singing, you also play instruments. Mm-hmm. How many instruments do you play?
I think like 4. Wow. Drums, the guitar, the bass guitar, and piano.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I was going to ask you today if you could play something for us. Yeah. But I don't think we have an instrument in the room, which is fine. Maybe tomorrow. Okay, yeah. How did you feel having your music played around the whole world, not only in Nigeria, but really globally? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel great. I feel honored. I feel privileged as well. But most importantly, if you put a lot of work in, and you see things going well, you remember the days you were on the inside, you know, doing the creative work, putting stuff down, and then everything now comes out good, and then you see people enjoying it, people grooving to it. You see it becoming like healing people as well, you know, relieving them of their stress, you know. They're happy with the sound. They use it in their daily activities and all events, ceremonies, you know. So it just makes me feel very good. Yeah. Yeah.
Nigeria has such a rich heritage in, you know, music and culture, mm-hmm, and also in food. I love Nigerian food. Going back to your early days, yeah, and even now, do you think that you've opened doors for other artists in Nigeria to come through in the global scene?
Yeah, we all have a part to play. I'm just doing mine. I learned a lot from the greats. I myself tried to, you know, inspire me, try to come up with something, you know, that I will be proud of, and at the same time leave something behind, you know, set an example for the guys coming after me. So I feel we all have a part to play, a role to play in, you know, the development of African music and Africa in general.
Out of all the collaborations that you've done, which one was your favorite?
I wouldn't say this is the one.
One of your top moments, doesn't have to be your favorite.
Okay, top moments I think would be, I think working with Fally Ipupa, you know, because he's someone I like so much in terms of his artistry, and he's just a natural artist, the way he creates his music, and also obviously he's got a great voice, You know, so working with him is just so easy. We just blend and, you know, make great music.
Yeah, they say that great minds understand each other, especially
Sure.
when it comes to music.
Sure.
And even listening to him and to your music, it's very, it feels good. It's really music that makes you feel happy. It's very raw as well, and very talented music, because you are the orchestra of your music.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just singing. You play the instrument, you guide your team, which is something that I guess we all always appreciate as people. So
Thank you.
that's great. Why do you think your music has been accepted by the global population?
I would say because of its originality. You know, my style, my sound is a rich blend of unique African rhythms. I think it's a blend of contemporary. I say, yeah, contemporary and like jazz. Yeah, it's just a fusion of different blends of African sounds, and that makes it original. I like being original. I like to be myself with the way I create. When I am in that zone, when I'm having that creative process, it's just like, you know, I'm in my own world. And I want to be heard, and I want to be, you know, I want people to feel me that way. Yeah, so that's why I just let it go. I just, you know, flow with it. You know, I don't like to be structured, you know, to like, you know, be like, you know, static and all. No, I just want to, you know, flow like a river.
Yeah, you let go.
Just let go, just let it go. You know? Even when I'm trying to be too strict or I do think they will like it, then I'm already telling myself, stop.
Yeah.
Don't say, do you think? Don't, just do what you gotta do. You know, let it be music. You know, and of course, you know, music is like a universal language. You don't have to understand the language I speak or the lyrics, but the rhythm, the sound, when it hits you, you know, you feel no pain.
Yeah. And when you hear your fans sing alongside of you at concert, how do you feel? Like, do you look at them thinking, how did I get there?
Sometimes I do.
Unreal.
Yeah. Sometimes I do. Then most times I just try to enjoy it with them.
Yes.
You know, and that way I'm even inspired to do more. Yeah.
Because it's almost like they grew up with you, right?
Yeah.
I listened to your music when I was 15, 16.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was your music with Chidinma.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Oh wow.
That was quite cool. So yeah, so I feel like I understand your music as well, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
If you could change anything about the industry, the music industry, what would it be?
I would say, you know, with the way there's too many, gadgets and softwares trying to take over the creative process, I would say I prefer it raw. Like, I prefer people doing more live music, you know. Obviously, I know technology is in vogue now and we're gonna grow and all, but if you ask me, I would say, you know, I like the time when everything was more like raw. I think it felt so natural with it. Now it's so easy to make music.
Yeah.
You can make music in 2 seconds. You just put one or two things together and there you go, you know. But then again, I understand, you know, with technology and all, you know, there's so many things you can't stop. But if I were to ask, what do I want? They were to ask me, okay, what do you want to? That's just like you did now. This is what I would say.
Yeah, a bit less technology, more raw.
Less technology, you know, more, because you know, music is a natural thing. Like you just, and you want to feel, you know, you want to feel it that way. But when there's too many, you know, technology in it, it kind of
takes away from the flowing natural. I think I understand what you mean. I guess that's how legends were made back then, where you didn't really have all of this technology. Everyone was just working so hard to make the music happen with just the instruments. and the voice.
Yeah,
and people.
And the artist could be felt, you know,
Yes.
like you could feel them and enjoy it, and they were like gods at that time, you know. Now with technology, it takes away the respect, takes away the way the fans view you, you know, because probably they see themselves, it's doable, I can do this, you know, because anybody can wake up today and just get in the studio and see what's going on and know that if I get this sample and put these two together and start doing it, yeah.
Are you saying I can be a singer as well?
You can. If you want to, yeah, it's easier now, you know, but that's how I see it.
Thank you. As soon as we finish, I'm going to go and make music.
Yeah.
Looking at your 10 years old self, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself, you are the man.
Woo.
Because I remember how it was back then, and everything I dreamt of, I wanted it to come to pass, you know, and I knew the only way possible was to, you know, put work in, a lot of work in. I started very well. From the church, my pastor saw how determined I was. At the time, he was like, "Yo, you always here playing these drums, and you see it's disturbing my guidance and counseling session. Please, I want to ask you a question. Is this what you really want to do, music? Because you're just carrying it on your head. You don't even want to come for your practice alone. Like during the choir practice, you want to come on your own. And while I'm having this session, I'm hearing these drums. Like, can't you wait?" I say, "I'm sorry. I'll wait for you after the session. I'll go back and continue what I'm doing." So it was like, if this is what you want to do, I think I can help you. There's a place. All they do is play this thing. I said, "Wow." He said, "Yeah." So he said there was a friend of his that just came back from the States, and he had this company, it's a music company, he was looking for young talents to, you know, to train, take them to school, to study music, and then after they come back and start working for the company. So I said, "Well, I'm good to go." He gave me the address, and I went there, and lo and behold, everything I was looking for was just there. Everything. Luckily enough for me, that day, it was their rehearsal day. They were having rehearsals, and I just bumped into them. And when I knocked on the door, they opened, and I saw instruments that I've never seen in my life at that time.
Wow.
Like when I say it's a full band made up of like 23-man band. They had the horn sessions. They had their string session. Like it was a big band. And then I introduced myself to the director, and he said, "Yeah, you know," he said, "Yeah, I know the pastor you're talking about. That's my friend. You know, we studied together before I traveled. What instrument do you know how to play?" I said, "Drums." He said, "Go and show us." I said, "I don't know how to play this kind, the one you guys are doing." But what I heard coming in was just
too professional.
Too professional. So he said, "Do whatever you know," and I did it, and he was happy with one thing. He said, "Listen, I know you don't play much, but I like the fact that you were singing and you're playing at the same time. So that means you already understand what rhythm is, timing. So that way I think you can do this." So they brought me in, and I became part of the group, and I served them for 13 good years. That was where I learned how to, you know how in the Eastern part, the apprenticeship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was what it was like. I was there for 13 good years.
And you was learning as well as becoming.
Yeah.
Becoming.
And then they took me to school, enrolled me to the music department, University of Nigeria, in Soka, you know, which I started. So I started very well. You know, so that's where I learned how to play all the musical instruments, how to, you know, produce, how to do so many things musically.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
what would you tell like young people that are early in their career if they want to become someone in the music industry?
Yeah. Well, all I say to them is you can learn from the greats, you can learn from whoever, but in all you do you.
Yeah.
You know, think about you, discover you, make time for yourself to properly analyze what you are doing, because everything boils down to you. You are all you got. Because I can go on and say, do this, do that, but if you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. So it's on you.
Yeah.
So whatever you want to do is on you. You have to give it everything you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I ask you my last question, how is your voice feeling right now? Can you give us some "Mwah baby"?
Yeah. Mwah baby, nyame fege. Mwah baby, nyame fege. Mwah baby, nyame fege. Yeah. Aladala dadago. Ife bala babago. Umwana na meyale. Eburu wago. Eburu wago. Baby, fire they go. All the boys say don't kolo. Hey,
I want some korokotototopo.
She con the pio.
Waka waka baby. Thank you so much, Flavour. My last question to you would be, what would you tell your fans?
Okay, to all my fans, I want to say thank you for the support so far. You guys are amazing, and thank you for being on this journey with me. I promise I'll keep delivering and I will never disappoint you guys.
I love that. Well, thank you for your time, Flavour.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.